afternoon. It is April 30th, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to head out on to Sulphur Creek Trail, sort of a trail, more like just following the Sulphur Creek. So eventually, if you take the whole route's about 5.8 miles, it'll put you at the visitor center. Starting off at the trailheads right off of Highway 24. It's almost exactly 2.5 miles from the western park marker where it says Capital Reef National Park. That marker, 2.5 miles is a pull off. It's not really marked. It's right before, if you're coming from the west, Chimney Rock. If you're coming from the other way from the visitor center, it's right past the Chimney Rock trailhead. Pardon me, this big paved pull off. When you get here, there's a little sign that says visitor center via Sulphur Creek. So anyway, 5.8 miles from here to the visitor center. Most people do this with a shuttle. Leave a car at the visitor center, hike into there, shuttle back here. Well, I don't have a shuttle, so I'm going to hike in there. There are supposedly 3 waterfalls back here. I've never done this before. So there are 3 waterfalls. The third from this direction being about 0.7 of a mile from the visitor center. So the plan is to hike up the creek or down the creek, I guess, until I get to that third waterfall, and then turn around and come back. So that'll put me at about 10 miles round trip. Getting a little bit of a late start. It's about 60 degrees, a little breeze blowing, and partly cloudy. So it ought to be nice. Let's get my stuff together and get moving. All right, here we go. Down Sulphur Creek. So it's 5.8 miles to the visitor center. Like I said, we're not going all the way quite that far. We're going to try to get to that third waterfall and see what this is all about. But shouldn't be much of any elevation gain. It'll be a little up and down, I'm sure, walking in the creek bottom. Kind of what we're walking into. Pretty cloudy. Some dark clouds, but I don't think it's going to rain. The forecast doesn't call for any, and you definitely don't want to be down here in a rainstorm for sure. But forecast says no rain, so just clouds. So should be good to go. Let's get it done. That is Chimney Rock right in front ahead of us there. Trail goes up above that viewpoint of the actual Chimney Rock. I did a video describing that hike up through the first part of Chimney Rock and into Lower Spring Canyon. Check it out if you're interested and find out more about that. Pretty cool spot back here. Just not far back, I'm only about a mile in, not quite. It's the 0.8 of a mile in from the trailhead. Kind of ducked into this. I mean, really feel like you're in the creek, although I hadn't seen any water yet. Really neat spot. What a nice spot back here. Easy hiking. Probably a mile and let's see, I'll tell you exactly, a mile and a half in. 0 elevation, literally like 15 feet. So just flat hiking through this wash or creek bed. Haven't seen any water in the creek yet. I know there's some spots. Should get to it pretty soon. Man, what a way to spend a Wednesday afternoon. Spent the morning doing a tour in Cathedral Valley, the afternoon hiking Sulphur Creek. Life's good, man, life's good. A little bit of a scramble to get down here, not too bad. Definitely needed to both hands though. Really cool though. Cool spot. So at mile 1.8 down the creek. Well, ready to wind's really kicking up now. Just gorgeous. Look at that. What a perfect desert scene that is, huh? Nice crystal clear creek running through here. Just gorgeous. Love it. Not too cold. Imagine a month or so ago might have been a little nipply. Not too bad today. Pretty cool spot here as it turns this bend. It's almost like a little tunnel through here. And the water's no deeper than my ankles. Lower shin at this spot. Not too bad at all. The water feels great. Feels great. Little cascade there. There's a spot here where you get out the water and actually back on a little dirt trail alongside the creek. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Try to zoom in a little bit. Up on that point is the Goosenecks overlook. So if you just want to look down on this view, you can drive your car there, walk up to that little viewpoint, and check it out. That's worth it as well. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice, really nice viewpoint. It's called the Goosenecks. It's at the end of the dirt road at the end of the Panorama Point turnoff. Cool spot. Also there is Sunset Point, which is a really popular spot at sunset. Imagine that. Great photographers love that spot. Lights up, the whole canyon lights up at sunset. It's beautiful. This section through here is amazing. Rock has all this yellow in it. Almost looks fake. Hope it comes out. Hope you can pick that up. Man, it looks like a topo map or something. Really cool. A lot of cool spot. Looks like narrows through here. I really think this is probably the perfect time to be doing this hike. This is last day of April. I think a month ago the water would have been much higher. First of all, much colder. Secondly, so the temperature is just perfect. It's a swimming pool temperature. So, you know, it's been basically ankle deep most of the way. A little higher in one or two spots here and there. And see what happens when I get up there. I should be getting up to the first waterfall in about a quarter mile, so I think. And so we'll see what that's about. And there's a little bit of scrambling around it, I believe, according to trail description. So we'll see what happens there. Just amazing. What a fun way to spend an afternoon. Just awesome. I am 2 or 3 miles into this hike, 3.1 miles, so 5K into this hike, and no one out here but me, Sulphur Creek, soaring red cliffs, black rocks. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing, man. Wow. This is a pretty awesome section. The walls get in a little tighter. A couple of cascades. Tons of this beautiful black volcanic rock. Really special. Definitely 2 hands, kind of shimmy down. Just spectacular through here. Unbelievable. Look at this. Pretty incredible. So that's number 1 of supposed 3 waterfalls. I think the second is, I looked at the map, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's about a mile maybe. I'll confirm that. But just unbelievable. Really had no idea. I was not expecting this on this hike. You know, can't believe there's no one else back here. Mind blowing. Alright, so that second waterfall took a little more work to get around than the first. So, as we're looking at it, if you come to it, you're going to veer off to your right. Left doesn't look at the video. But as you look up, you kind of climb up, you go under, let's zoom in a little bit, you go under that big boulder, and then you'll see it's kind of three separate little pitches, probably 6 feet, I don't know, whatever, 6 feet, 4 feet each. Definitely a little slippery with your wet shoes, but definitely took both hands and a little concentration. So it's certainly doable and really worth it. Unbelievable. By the way, between the first waterfall and the second, pretty short distance, I don't know, quarter mile, maybe tops. So right there, and you get into here in these narrows, really something else. So my destination is going to be up to the third waterfall, which is about, I think, about 1.5 miles from here. I'll get to that, take a little rest, have a little snack, and then I'll turn around and work my way back. Hopefully I can climb back up those waterfalls. Coming down's a little easier, I think. So anyway, what you are rewarded with after that second waterfall, pretty special through here. Good news is these rocks in this creek are not slippery at all, at least with my trail runners on. Unlike some of those rocks I've traversed there in northwest Montana that are freaking death traps. This has been they're pretty solid. So. Little deep section right there. Unexpected. So this water's thigh high on me. I'm 6'2", so that was a bit of a surprise. I was too busy looking at the canyons. Not the smartest move. So just making my way back. Stopped to have a little snack. Get a drink of water. What a great hike, unbelievable. So on about mile 5, the third waterfall. I didn't traverse the third waterfall, hiked up to it. And I'm turning around, I gotta get moving a little bit. I got, it's 4 o'clock. So, I got 5 miles to get out of here. I don't wanna get caught back here in the dark, although I got plenty of time. But I do have to get up and over those 2 waterfalls from this end, and so I want to give myself a little extra time, of course, just to make sure and enjoy this hike out. Just been spectacular, just been great. Of the mighty 5 Utah national parks, this is kind of the so the least visited of the 5 for sure, but I think it's the most underrated of the 5. It's just fantastic. You can really get a lot of bang for your buck here. Most people come here, they're passing through, they go to Zion, they go to Bryce, they figure, oh, it's on the map, let's go check it off the list. We'll go to Capital Reef, but it deserves a spot on your must-visit list. It's great, I love it. Happy to know I made it up those 2 waterfalls. Took a little scrambling for sure, but man, what a great hike this is. A little bit of everything. I'd say, moderate. As long as you're okay with a little scrambling, you don't mind getting your feet wet and cold, then it's doable for just about anybody. It's fantastic. Can't say enough. Well, as I work my way out of Sulphur Creek, just blown away by this. As I walk through these places, I just can't help think and have such a debt of gratitude to people like George Bird Grinnell and Teddy Roosevelt, Stephen Mather, Horace Albright, John Muir. These guys 100 and whatever years ago had the foresight to fight to protect these places for us. And we're so fortunate to be able to enjoy these places. They're practically undisturbed. It's just amazing, you know. And with that, and thank the current National Park Service Rangers, the Forest Service Rangers, Bureau of Land Management. These men and women do this. They don't do it for money. They don't make any money. Shoot, half of them are seasonal employees. They do this because they love these places as much as I do, and as much as those previous men I mentioned, and I'm forgetting a bunch, I'm sure, but these places touch me. I hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy some of these places. And body knows the rules. Shoes off. This time socks off too, because they are soaked. Crocs on. First rule of Hike Club. Oh yeah.